Hello and welcome back to another devlog on Magic Life Sim. In the lead up to getting the Super Alpha demo out into the world soon, I've been working on a variety of things that are a little hard to split across multiple videos, so instead I took this as an opportunity to finally tackle an improvement to the grass system. Up until now, the grass has kind of just existed in the game without any interactivity, so let's add displacement as the player moves through it. And here's how I did that. It all starts with adding another top-down camera to our game that follows the player character around. Rather than rendering directly to the display, we'll rewire it so that everything it sees gets sent into a texture. The next step is to turn everything off by disabling all of its layers except for one. This will be our displacer layer. With our main camera, we'll want to disable this layer from being rendered. Now if we add a sphere to the scene and change its layer to the displacer layer, it shows up in our render texture, but not in our game view. And for the video's sake, I added in a little preview image of that texture just so we can see what's happening. Before we go any further with sending this texture to the grass shader, let's have a bit of a tangent talk to talk about normal and height maps. Don't worry, this will come into play here in a little bit. In a height map, you're using a black and white value, where pure white is your maximum height. For a game, you might use this for terrain. And not only does it distort the mesh's vertices, it also reorients how the light interacts with the surface. Now another use for height maps is to generate a tangent space normal map, which is also used to reorient how light interacts with a mesh, and you can do stuff like faking geometry. For each pixel, the red channel is the horizontal adjustment and the green is the vertical adjustment. And the blue, I don't really know what blue does. I think it's just there sometimes. It honestly just feels weird if I don't see blue in my texture. Anyways, how do you convert a height map into a normal map? For each pixel, we check the neighboring pixels to build up a vector. If you've got multivariable calculus under your belt, this should feel a little bit familiar. It's the gradient vector. Essentially, we're just going to be taking a derivative of the height map. We don't even need to have another render texture as well, because we can just do all of this calculation on the fly in our shader. Instead of redirecting light, we're going to use our normal map to push the grass blades out of the way. To smooth out this effect, we'll run the displacement map through a Gaussian blur shader twice. One for the horizontal axis, and then one for the vertical axis. I also went ahead and added a color shifting to the shader when a blade is displaced, so it should show up a little easier on video. Now when I originally made the grass system last summer, I felt pretty confident I could tackle all of this, but I knew it just wouldn't feel quite right. When you're running through the grass, it's snapping back to its original position as soon as you leave. This had me stumped for a while, and it eventually hit me, probably from doing so much animation work lately. What's better than one rendered texture when you can have two rendered textures? For every frame that we render, we build our displacement map and then blend it with the previous frame's map through a custom shader. Also, I want to point out this one specific variable because I almost never use it. We're using delta time here to continuously decay the displacement map. Otherwise, it would only change when the camera moves, and this took me quite a while to realize that this was an issue since whenever I booted up the game into play mode, I would just run around everywhere. Honestly, I'm surprised how smoothly this whole thing is turning out. Whenever I hit a stuck point while programming, I end up going on a walk to take my mind off of it, especially with shader programming. But fortunately, everything has been moving nicely. And unfortunately, I've been feeling way more out of shape. So once I'm out of my self-induced crunch, I'll need to tackle that issue. But let's get back on track with a few finishing touches to our system. I did have a second major concern keeping me from committing to the displacement system. Since the camera is rendering everything top-down, how is jumping handled? Well, it turns out it wasn't much of an issue after all. With a new mono behavior for the displacer object, we raycast downward by half the object's height, plus a little extra wiggle room. If we don't hit anything, the displacer's scale gets set to 0. But as we get closer to the ground, we restore the scale to its original value. And while we're at it, let's add a velocity factor, so when an entity is coming to a stop, its scale starts to shrink down. And with that, I'm feeling pretty good about this system. There are a couple more improvements I'd still like to make, mainly quality of life stuff, since tweaking parameters is spread between the camera controller, the renderer feature, and each material. Specifically the source material, since everything in play mode gets worked immediately due to each of them having their own compute shader data, and they all play nicely between each other. Once the game ends, those materials get deleted, so there's no point in editing them. But all of that can come later once my capstone project on procedural animation is wrapped up. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed watching the development of Magic Life Sim with this video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!